My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the 2002 movie Chicago. And this is a movie I had no expectations for, but when I put my Blu ray in and we get to the menu, I really liked the music, and I was just like, is this movie going to surprise me? And for the first little bit, it actually did. I was really enjoying the movie until I wasn't. So let's begin talking about the cast. And Renee Zellweger, who is the lead of this movie, despite what I've been told, does a good enough job. It's not her best performance, but she does bring enough to this character. Catherine Zeta-Jones, I thought did a good job as well. I don't think it's an amazing performance or anything, but she brings enough personality and she brings enough energy, and I liked her in this movie. Just nothing great. Richard Gere seemed a little miscast every now and again, but I do think he was able to pull it off. Um, yeah, a decent performance. Not great. Queen Latifah, I thought, did a perfectly fine job. I was kind of shocked to discover she was nominated for an Oscar for this movie. Really? Like, she's fine, but it's nothing that good. And speaking of got nominated for an Oscar for this movie, the same thing happened to John C. Reilly. Like, really? He's fine in the movie, but it kind of feels like a typical John C. Reilly performance. So that's questionable. So the cast ranges from perfectly fine to pretty good. Nobody does amazing here, but they do what the movie requires them to do. The real star of this movie, if you ask me, is Rob Marshall, because I have not been impressed with his directing for the most part. The Little Mermaid sucked. Into the Woods is a big mixed bag. I actually do like the Mary Poppins sequel, and Pirates of the Caribbean 4 sucks. But this movie is easily his most impressive directing. Like, this movie is filled with energy, and it's a very ambitious movie, and he somewhat pulls it off for what he's trying to do. The cinematography is very good. The editing is just wonderful. The costumes and the makeup and the production design are great. Like, technically, this movie is very well made. And there's one song. We both reached for the gun. And I don't actually care for the gun, but this entire scene is just his finest achievement as a director. Just some fantastic work. My issue with the movie is, you know how I said, like, I started off the movie surprised at how much I was enjoying it? That feeling just didn't last. At first, I was like, oh, this is fresh, this is new, this is filled with energy. And then I kept watching the movie and I'm like, oh, the entire movie's like this. Okay. And it just kind of got old for me really fast. Well, they're telling this story, but then it constantly cuts to these shows on stages, and like, it's definitely impressive technically, but I just feel like after a while the movie kind of felt one note. Despite all that energy, it still kind of lost me because it feels like that's all the movie had to offer. And I just didn't really care for the story being told. I had no investment in anyone or anything going on. And as a result, I kind of just checked out. I also feel like this movie just lacks any bit of morality. Like, Renee Zellweger is a piece of shit. She cheated on her loving and committed husband, and then she kills the guy that she was cheating on him with. And then he was willing to go down for her, but she gets caught, she's in jail, and the movie wants me to root for her, and I don't feel like it's actually trying to like look down on her character. I feel like we're actually meant to root for these characters. And I just found the whole thing pretty gross, to be honest. Like, I'm okay if the main character is a bad person. That has made for some great character studies, but I don't think the movie really looks down on her that way, and there's just not anything interesting to her. So I couldn't root for her, I didn't care about anything, and like I said, despite all the impressive technical achievements, I just feel like this movie got old for me really fast. Great first 10 minutes, after that, So I'll give Chicago a 4 out of 10. One thing I did forget to mention is that the actual songs in this movie weren't very good. In fact, not a single song stands out, and they all kinda sounded the same. And I do think that factors into the fact that this movie feels very one note. So, anyways, Chicago, have you been there? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.